reach, I believe it's 75%, they'll show up and you're able to take action to see why those incidents aren't being worked or resolved. There's also some quick counts that you're able to see here, any critical incidents, unassigned incidents, so we can see that there actually are 3 of those that we've created kind of in the test here, in the demo. Also incidents that haven't been updated in 3 days by a technician, and also incidents that haven't been updated in 3 days and are waiting on a response from a customer. The next big thing that you have access to as a manager level person are the reports. So if you come into the reports application and then go down to view and run, you can see a whole list of, I don't know, 50 or some odd reports that come with ServiceNow, and most of these are out-of-the-box reports. Now, one of the things that we have done in this shared services project is we spent some time and said, well, what key reports do we really think are important to look at when running an IT help desk? So we've created some NetHope specific reports, and those are indicated with a star in front of their names. So there's a number under incident, and then there's also one under task SLA summary. So I'm not going to go into those in a whole lot of detail, but I do want to just show what these look like. Again, since we don't have a tremendous amount of demo data in here right now, the reports aren't incredibly interesting, but there is something. So what we can see, this is a report of incident impact by month. So for all of the incidents, we can see that 3 of them impacted a single person, and 1 of them impacted multiple people. Once there gets to be more data in the tool, this will be broken out, so we'll have June 2009, July 2009, August 2009, and you can see how things are trending, and hopefully put into place some changes to improve the level of service that's being provided, and then see that in the reports that are being generated here. I also wanted to quickly touch on how you can create your own reports. So up at the top here, there's a number of different fields. You can report on different tables. So right now we're reporting on incidents, but you could report on problems or knowledge-based usage or anything like that. And then we can set the group by, so what gets split out on top here. So if we want to go and change this to priority, I just go through this drop down here, come to priority, and change that. And I could also change the filter. So the filter right now is saying this year. I could have it say that it was opened the last 2 years, the last 6 months, any of those different options. And then I just come up here, hit run report, and it will generate a new report for me that looks strikingly similar to the old one, but now lists the priorities as opposed to the impact. I can save this report so that I can access it later. I can even schedule this report so that it's emailed to me every month, every week, whatever it is that I'd like. And again, more information in the detailed training materials. The last piece from the tech manager standpoint is that we have someone who is also the knowledge manager. So in some cases, this may or may not be also the technician manager, but I wanted to show this functionality as well. So if you are the knowledge manager, you'll have this knowledge homepage here. And what this shows is a very similar look to the technician homepage, again based on SLAs, but here these are the knowledge submissions that need to be worked on. So I can actually see here that the knowledge submission that I just created is the network password for Nairobi. As a knowledge approver, I can go into this knowledge base article, and look at the different information that's come in, obviously the text of things, the metadata, and then can do one of two things. Well, I can do a number of things, right? I can come in and I can say that we're not going to create these articles. We're going to say that either this is not a valid knowledge base article or it's a duplicate. But if I do want to create it, I have two options. One, I can create it just for my organization. So I can say, okay, this only applies to Steve's organization, in which case I would come up to this button and select Create Domain Article. The alternative that I have is I can create, or I can submit this article to be created globally. So what that means is that anyone in any of the NetHope organizations that's using ServiceNow would have access to this knowledge base article. And what actually will happen is that when you submit this globally, it will then go to a global knowledge administrator who would have to approve and say, yes, okay, this does make sense for it to be global, or no, we don't think so, this actually does belong in an organization-specific knowledge base. Okay, so those are all of the items that I wanted to cover for the manager login and the manager role. So if we jump back to the slides, just like for the other two, we will have the agency lead contacting you, giving you the test that we are asking you for, the login information for ServiceNow, and access to some additional training. For the managers, the additional training is the approving a knowledge base article and how to view and schedule the NetHope reports. And again, we really appreciate people helping us to get this tested and get your feedback. So those are all of the items that I wanted to cover today. We've got a few minutes left. If there are any questions from anyone on the phone about the items that we've covered or what we're asking you for through the rest of the week. Okay, so I'm not hearing any questions. If you do have any questions that arise, please contact the agency lead that was on the first or second page, and they will be able to get your questions answered. As I said, this is being recorded, so we'll work to get a link out to this so that people who weren't able to attend in person are able to watch this overview training. And once again, everyone, thanks for your time and participation.